All right, here with Sean Bormet, 5 questions. We're coming off an awesome weekend. Big tailgate, over 200 wrestling fans, parents, alums. Mason was honored on the field. Um, Tell me how great the weekend was.
Yeah, awesome weekend. We had unbelievable weather. We actually had over 250
Okay.
alums and families and fans. I think it's the best tailgate in Ann Arbor. In the fall, we had Ricewood Barbecue, which was a big hit. There was not a bite left by the time everyone got through and got their food. But just, great to see all the camaraderie. For me as the head coach, I had an opportunity to speak and talk a little bit about our world championships, talk a little bit about Team 102, and just to be able to stand over, look out to the crowd, and see them, the smiling, the laughter, the sense of pride in the program. That was probably the most special part for me. Then I was able to, I really believe that special moments should be shared. So I'd been sitting on Mason Parris's NCAA championship ring for about a month. So I surprised him, brought him up onto the deck, and presented him with his NCAA championship ring, so everybody at the tailgate could experience that moment with him and applaud it. And we marched him over to the field. He got honored on the field, which was awesome. And probably the most fun part of that was, obviously on the field and the crowd was erupting, and Mason got to say a few words about representing the University of Michigan at the World Championships. But then what I wasn't anticipating, and which was really special, was when we were exiting the stadium and we were walking back up the stairs, which is normally, I associate with running and buddy carries and all the training we do. But on the way up, after he just came off the field, all the kids that were trying to get to the aisle to get a photo with him, fist bump him, and just great moment for all the kids who were in the football stadium too.
Okay, you've been back for a week from Serbia. We're in this kind of 8 hours of practice right now. What does that entail? Obviously, you're kind of, still getting going a little bit, lots of skill instruction. What do the practice look like?
Yeah, so the practice has been great. We're about 4 weeks into our preseason 8-hour phase, and really it's it starts with a lot of fitness, conditioning, weightlifting. Mat work is mostly skill instruction, some drilling, just really getting the guys to their fitness levels, and just getting all their skills built up. That will continue to kind of shift. The amount of cardio and running and things we do will start to decrease, and the amount of wrestling minutes will start to increase over about 2 weeks from now. And we're just really hammering a lot of skills, a lot of things. There's a lot of new rules this year, so we're covering a lot of areas that may be related to some of these new rules. And and then obviously coming back from the World Championships, we had 4 coaches over there at the World Championships, and all of our guys competing. So anytime you go through a world-class event like that and you're entrenched in so much wrestling each day at the highest level, there's just a lot of things that get reinforced. So I know when we got back, at the end of last week, we kind of broke down 6 or 7 of those key areas that we saw and that just kind of reinforced at the World Championships, and then just really the overall physicality of the wrestling. And because I know a lot of our guys were watching online, but sometimes the physicality of the wrestling and the force and the energy that goes into some of the techniques, you can't necessarily see it on film. You can see it and feel it when you're standing there live. So we really just emphasized that, and then just wanted to make sure we were starting to inject some of that into these skill instructions and into some of our hard drilling.
And how are the guys responding? New guys, veterans?
Yeah.
What are you seeing so far?
Yeah, it looks great. Guys are working hard. I really see the freshmen, kind of ramping up. I see all the transfers. They're in the mix. A lot of camaraderie. It's a close-knit team. I think they're right now, everything I'm seeing in terms of their training habits, really special, very coachable. Definitely willing to put in the work. I think they're really excited about this team and this season. So it's been all positive since I've been back.
All right, so we have our schedule. It's kind of embargoed until Monday, we've heard. But I just want to get you kind of go through our first semester schedule and some of those home duels we have coming next semester.
Yeah, so first semester we will start off with the Michigan State Open. That's on November 11th and Saturday, and we'll have a large group of guys competing at that open tournament. Probably won't necessarily be all of our varsity wrestlers, but we will have a large group of Wolverines there competing, getting matches. The next weekend on November 17th, we will wrestle Columbia in New York City. Always great to get out there on the East Coast with a lot of our alums and our fan base. And then we'll turn around and go to Ryder and wrestle Ryder on that Sunday. Then 2 weeks later, we're out at the big Cliff Key in Las Vegas Invitational on December 1st and 2nd. I know this year that is going to be the premier tournament. Usually it is every year, but I know there's even a few more, top 10 teams in the field. So really excited. We always kind of train and really focus on being prepared for that tournament. It's kind of a first semester test for us and a simulation of Big Ten's NCAA tournament, because it's really our only big primary tournament up until the Big Ten's NCAAs. And then, I can't talk too much about the Big Ten schedule. We just got released, but we are excited. Home duels here with Iowa and Penn State, Rutgers, Michigan State. So we'll have some great home duels, and really excited about that schedule.
And then lastly, I just want to ask you about recruiting a little bit. I know you can't go into any details, any specific names, but you're finding a lot of interest on the recruiting trail. So how's that been going?
Recruiting's been excellent. We've had one big recruiting weekend here right before we left for the World Championships. We continue to bring in, the weight classes we're really targeting in this 2025 class. We're bringing in the top kids around the country. They're all really interested and they have a great time on their visits here in Michigan. We have two more big recruiting weekends, one in October, one in November. Again, we have a lot of the top kids coming in on these visits together. And then obviously our 2024 class, we're really excited. We love this 2024 class. We'll be signing them in early November. And then we can officially talk about that class and kind of break down those weight classes and the depth and the talent that's in that group. So recruiting momentum is tremendous, and we're definitely excited we're about 2 weeks out from this next big recruiting weekend here in Ann Arbor, and got some of the top kids coming in. So always fun recruiting weekends here in Ann Arbor.
All right, Sean, thank you, and go Blue.
Go Blue.